It begins quietly, not with the roar of power or the glitter of luxury, but with a simple question that pulls you in almost instantly. When one of the most influential men in modern American history closed his eyes for the final time, how much money did he really leave behind? This is How Much Money Jimmy Carter Left Behind is not just a story about numbers in a bank account, but a journey into a life that defied expectations at every turn, starting from a modest peanut farm in rural Georgia and rising all the way to the White House, yet never fully embracing the wealth and excess that often follow such power. As the story unfolds, what makes Jimmy Carter so fascinating is the contrast between his global fame and his deeply personal financial choices that continue to surprise people even today. While many former presidents leveraged their status to build massive fortunes, Carter took a very different path, one shaped by faith, humility, and a belief that a meaningful life is measured by impact rather than income. His wealth, often discussed and sometimes misunderstood, came primarily from book deals, public speaking, and decades of disciplined work after leaving office, not from political maneuvering or corporate influence. Even then, much of what he earned was carefully managed, openly reported, and frequently given away, reflecting a man who viewed money as a tool rather than a trophy. As you listen, the story draws you deeper into how Carter and his wife Rosalind chose to live in the same modest home they built decades earlier, rejecting the lavish lifestyles that seemed easily within reach, a decision that only adds to the mystery surrounding his final net worth. Was he secretly richer than people believed, or was his legacy truly rooted in simplicity? Along the way, you'll discover how his Nobel Peace Prize, humanitarian work with Habitat for Humanity, and lifelong commitment to service shaped not just his reputation, but also the way his finances were structured and ultimately left behind. The numbers themselves may surprise you, not because they are astronomically high, but because they reveal something far more compelling, a rare example of a world leader who proved that influence does not have to equal excess. This story keeps building, layer by layer, showing how Carter's financial legacy mirrors his moral one, steady, transparent, and grounded in principle. By the time the full picture comes into focus, the real takeaway isn't just how much money Jimmy Carter left behind, but why that amount tells a powerful story about values, choices, and a life lived with intention. And that is what makes this tale so captivating, because in a world obsessed with wealth, Jimmy Carter's story quietly asks a different question, one that lingers long after the video ends. What is true wealth really worth?